Hello everyone, it's me an INFP. Welcome to this video. I would like to talk about what qualities attract me to guys or crushes as an INFP. I was thinking back to the crushes I've had over the years or general qualities I find attractive in guys. I've listed out a couple of them. I'm happy to do this video today because I feel like this is kind of a topic a lot of people want to know about, like when it comes to INFPs and crushes, and I would like to know if this is true, if you're an INFP and you're watching this, or you know an INFP, if this will be true for you, because like I've said in a lot of other videos, INFPs are very individualistic, so what I find attractive in someone isn't going to be exactly the same for another INFP, but I think there are general qualities that INFPs find attractive in someone else. So let's get started. One thing I've noticed, I was reading the Gemini description, and before you be like, oh, astrology is BS, whatever, I'm not promoting astrology. I was just reading about my sign, and apparently it's an air sign, and air signs are related to intelligence apparently, and Gemini is known for its intelligence, and it says something about how it's Gemini connects to other people through intelligence. And reading that, I feel like I came to the realization that that's very true for me, that I need intelligence in another person, and that intelligence is important to me. So the first thing I'm gonna say that I find attractive in someone else, in a crush, is someone who's intelligent, someone who has a contemplative mind. And if there are differences in personalities, some are more mind and some are body, so it's mind versus physical bodiness. For me, I've always been attracted to those in the mind category, and so they have to capture my mind, and to do that they have to have a good mind themselves. I really find it attractive when I see someone who has a depth to them. INFPs eat that up. We love depth, even if it's not projected to everyone, look how deep I am. Even if it's just they might seem one thing on a surface level, but it's INFPs tend to have this intuitive kind of laser vision sometimes. They can look into someone and be I see something else in there and I want to find out what that is. I love people who have a depth of mind like that. So yes, intelligence is attractive to me. Another big thing that I was noticing about previous crushes is that what attracts me to someone a lot of the time is that they stand out to me in some way. They may either stand out to me and being extroverted, funny, that goofball, very prominent, that kind of stands out. Or it can be the opposite, where it's it's that person sitting by themselves, by the lake, contemplating or something, and they will stand out to me too. I've noticed it's just well, that's basically any crush, something about them stands out to you, and that's why you notice them. For me, I feel a lot of the times what stands out to me is when that person is different. I'm I love people who are different in some way. So if they stand out to me in a way that's different from everyone around them. Often when I was younger, it would be the extroverted class clown type that would catch my attention. But when I'm older now, I've noticed the more introverted, sitting alone by themselves stands apart from the pack mentality that stands out as different to me. Sometimes it's the same person. It's the introverted extrovert who is both the class clown and the one sitting alone. That one is even more complex. So yeah, I guess it was kind of cliche that when I was younger, it would be the more extroverted class clown who would always be goofing around and being funny and teasing people. Those were the type of guys who would stand out to me, just because they made themselves stand out. But I also I feel it's less common for me to see introverted guys standing out to me, just because I feel introversion isn't as common as extroversion. Actually, like, the two crushes I had in college were both guys I noticed sitting by themselves. And I suspect both of them may have still been extroverts, but like I loved seeing like my college is a very extroverted place, so like seeing people like sitting by themselves and just like being there, I was just like, ooh, I like that, because like everyone just like swarms in packs. I like the idea of also someone being a little bit like me, and that's just kind of like a people thing. People like people who remind them of themselves in some aspect a lot of the time. Not like totally like that person's a clone of me, but like, oh, I see like my introversion in them, you know, like kind of like that. And I really like that because I don't see it very often. INFPs like different. Another thing that I find is a very attractive quality is someone who is kind to animals. It just like melts my heart when I see like a guy like gently like picking up an animal and like moving it somewhere safe, or like instead of just like squishing bugs, they like take it outside, or like if there's, you know, just like someone who's like has empathy towards animals and is kind to them, like just like out of like the nature of their heart. I feel like that's something that really resonates with me, and I feel like it really says something about that person, like about their character. And it's also like a big value of mine because I love animals and nature. I believe it should be protected. So if I see someone doing that, like it really raises them in like my view of them, like my esteem of them. Like I would like my future husband to be like an advocate for like animals and nature, because like I feel like that would be like a really good quality to have in someone. So someone who is kind to animals is an attractive quality I find in guys. And then another quality I've noticed that I find attractive in guys is being generally kind to everyone. And this was something I noticed more recently as well. That like I feel like it says something about their character, but like it's just kind of like it's kind of wholesome to see them just like being genuinely kind. And it's like the genuineness also, like a genuine person and a person who is genuinely kind. It's kind of like it applies to everyone. They're kind towards girls, towards guys, towards the elderly, towards parents. Like it's just like, you know, that like they would be nice no matter who they came across. I have noticed that in a few people, and that's something that I found attractive in them. Maybe also because like I'm not always kind towards everyone. So like in a way that kind of is like a little bit like inspiring, and it's like very positive as well. Yeah, like thinking of like guys I've been attracted to because of that, it's just like it makes you feel good like seeing them be kind, because you know kindness is a great quality to have. And I feel like also like, you know, that like they wouldn't purposely be like mean towards you or towards someone else. So like I don't know, like I feel like it gives you kind of like a warm feeling to know that it's like even if you had a crush on them or something, like they wouldn't be mean about it and they wouldn't reject you in a mean way or anything. And if you were in a relationship with them, they would be a good boyfriend basically, because like you can tell that they have like a genuinely kind heart. And this brings me to another point that like, yes, like a crush does have to connect to my intelligence, but they also have to engage my heart. And it's not gonna be like a thing if they only engage one or the other. It has to be both. So basically a kind, intelligent person who also, I didn't mention this, has a sense of humor. Someone who has a sense of humor that I find funny. Like not all sense of humor blanketed, because there's some kind of humor that like doesn't really mesh well with mine, and I'm just like, I'm not really a fan of like really stupid, goofy, like physical humor, like, and I'm not really a fan of humor that like is really critical and like makes fun of other people. But of course, like, most girls do like humor. And like, actually, like, I read this study like just yesterday about how apparently guys like it when girls laugh at their jokes, but guys don't like girls who are funny. And like, that's why there's more guy comedians or something. And I was like, what? Like, why can't girls be funny? But like, I've noticed this before though, like all the comedians I watch on YouTube are like guys. Like, I don't know if guys are just naturally funnier, or if it's like girls don't tend towards that, or it's like not as many people find them funny. Anyway, I was just like, what? Like, why can't girls be humorous? And then another thing that I find an attractive quality in someone is having like creative pursuits, because again, I find it interesting if someone else has some of the shared interests that I do. I feel like it's a good sign if someone has creative pursuits, not necessarily like the exact same as mine, but like something that I can admire and be like, ooh, that's a cool thing to be interested in. And like, creative pursuits has like a wide blanket. Like, it can be anything from like video editing, drawing, writing, singing, acting. Like, there's like photography, there's a wide berth in that. But like, if someone has a creative pursuit, that's interesting to me and attractive. And of course, like I said, it would also be interesting and attractive if they were into like nature, like people who like hiking, or, you know, like walking in nature and stuff like that. Like activities that I enjoy doing or I can admire someone else doing. Now, physically, this is just my personal preference. It's not like all INFPs like this certain thing. But for me as an INFP, my ISFJ friend pointed out to me a couple months ago that apparently what I'm attracted to in like celebrity crushes is guys with like a more like feminine facial features. And at first I was like, no, that's not true. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not attracted to feminine like guys. And as he pointed out though, apparently I'm attracted to like more softer features versus more like blocky features. Like after thinking about that for a while, I realized that I tend to be attracted to boyish looks rather than manly looks. There's actually like studies done of having a picture of someone and like morphing the picture to become like more feminine or more masculine features of their face, and people voting of like what they found more attractive. And like typically I think women like go towards the more masculine side of finding like the attractive, and for me I feel like it's kind of more in the middle. Like, I don't like the fully masculine face, but more of just like they don't look really either feminine or super masculine. So it's like those kind of boyish features. An example of this would be comparing Chris Hemsworth, aka like Thor, to Tom Hiddleston, aka Loki. And for me, it would be Tom Hiddleston Loki every time. Other celebrity crushes that like we were looking at when he was pointing out like the softer features that I like apparently is like Dylan O'Brien, which is one of my big celebrity crushes, and Cole Sprouse. So there may be something there with that. Another way this can come into play is that like illustrating examples of like how I'm attracted to mind versus body. Cole Sprouse in the show Riverdale plays a character named Jughead, and he also has a friend named Archie. Jughead is an example of a mind type. He's like an intellectual, and he likes to figure things out with like his mind and puzzles and stuff. Archie is more of a physical jock type person, and he tends to like solve problems by like kind of like punching things. And for me, it's like another example, Dylan O'Brien playing Styles in Teen Wolf, and his friend Scott. Styles and Jughead are the like sarcastic nerds, and sarcastic nerds versus like the physical jock types. The nerds win out every time for me. So I hope this made sense. Those are some qualities that I find attractive in guys as an INFP. Please like this video if you liked what I had to say. Please gently press the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you next time. Bye. I would like to I would like to talk about oh my goodness. Okay. I would like to talk about the qualities I find attractive in males or like guys. That sounds so weird.